Floyd Mayweather is back in the headlines, and once again, the rumours are flying. Is the richest boxer of this generation really facing money problems? Or are people misunderstanding what being broke means when your lifestyle costs millions every month? So every few years, the same story returns. Floyd Mayweather is supposedly broke. The allegations get louder. The headlines, they get bigger. And the debate, it starts again. But before accepting the narrative, it is worth asking what the evidence actually shows and what being financially troubled means for someone like Floyd Mayweather. So let's give some context. Floyd Mayweather, apart from being an amazing boxer, has built an entire brand around wealth, private jets, luxury watches, expensive cars, and enormous property investments become part of the money persona. That is why every allegation about financial trouble attracts attention. However, the real question is not whether Floyd spends money, because everyone knows he does. The question is whether his spending exceeds his ability to generate income and maintain his lifestyle over time. And when people say Floyd Mayweather is broke, when they say he is broke, they are usually comparing him to the image he created rather than the average person. Because being broke to Floyd Mayweather is very different from being broke to most people. If a man still has millions in assets, businesses, and earning opportunities, can he truly be considered broke? Or is he simply less wealthy than most people assume? Now, the latest allegations, they should be treated carefully. Floyd has faced financial rumours for years, yet he continues to appear in major exhibitions and high-profile events around the world. That does not automatically prove that every allegation is false, but it does show he can still possess something extremely valuable. He has a name that can generate an enormous amount of revenue with a single appearance or an exhibition bout. There is also a very fair question, about whether Floyd has a spending issue. His lifestyle has always been built around visible consumption. Expensive purchases are not occasional rewards, they are a part of the brand itself. The challenge with that approach is obvious. The higher the spending rises, the more income is required simply to maintain the same image and expectations. And I think there's an important distinction here, and that is what separates Floyd from many retired athletes is his earning potential. Most athletes stop competing and watch their income collapse. Floyd can still earn millions through exhibitions because people are willing to pay to see him. Whether fans love him or whether fans hate him, he remains one of boxing's biggest attractions. That earning power provides a financial safety net that most former champions never possess. So the deeper issue is why? Why do so many boxers and so many athletes, why do they go broke? Now, financial education is certainly part of the story. Many athletes earn extraordinary sums at a young age without receiving the guidance needed to preserve wealth. However, knowledge alone does not explain everything. Plenty of intelligent people understand finance, yet still make poor financial decisions when emotions and lifestyle choices become involved. This is why, and this is a theory, personality may be the biggest factor. Elite athletes are often extreme risk takers. The same mindset that allows someone to step into the boxing ring, start a business, or chase greatness can also encourage reckless financial behavior. Risk, confidence, and ambition create champions, but those same traits can create financial problems. Floyd's story is ultimately a reminder that earning money and keeping money are two completely different skills. So before we put our cards on the table, it's important to acknowledge the following. There are two allegations against Floyd Mayweather, to my understanding. The first is over a watch, where there was 200,000 of insufficient funds. So 200,000 of insufficient funds that were obviously not paid for this watch in Nevada. That's the first allegation. And then there's the second allegation, which is issues with the IRS, which to my understanding is issues with tax. Again, I don't know the specific context or the details, but these are the allegations that are floating around. So now let's put our cards on the table and get into this. So Floyd, spending is obvious, but the key question is whether it exceeds his income. This is key because we know that he spends, but does it exceed what he makes? The lifestyle creep. The lifestyle creep is important. If you make 2 million, but you spend 4 million, then you're 2 million in the hole. So it's not always what you make, it's what you spend, which is important. And it appears that the issue isn't what Floyd Mayweather makes. The issue is his consumption. And perhaps there are other issues as well. So the next statement is being broke means something very different for Floyd than for ordinary people. For most ordinary people, perhaps having 50k in their account or having 100k in their account or having 200k in their account, they're doing very well. But within the context of Floyd Mayweather, having 20 million may be broke. The point is this: what's broke to John, what's broke to Sally, or I should say, what's rich to Sally and what's rich to John is broke to Floyd Mayweather. So it's important to give context when we say someone is broke, because his outgoings and his consumption, there's clear evidence that that might be a problem. But to say he is broke and to not give the detail is slightly misleading. Like I said, if Sally has 100 grand and John has 100 grand in the bank, they could be considered to be doing well. But if Floyd has 20 million or 30 million or even 100 million, he's considered broke because of his consumption and because of what's coming out. Because not only does he have his consumption, but I believe he has multifarious businesses as well. And then there's, the allegations, but also the fact that Floyd can generate major revenue. And this is very true. Most boxers or most elite athletes, when they retire, their window of opportunity to make big money expires. But in Floyd's case, there is some difference here. Yes, he might not be making the same money he made in his prime, but he can still make millions. He can fight a popular influencer and make millions. He can have a rematch with Pacquiao and make millions. And this situation right here, this is further marketing. People are interested in the name of Floyd Mayweather. And, he can, they can create a narrative of an issue with someone, and then people will want to see that fight. And people have always wanted to see Floyd get defeated. And, that desire to see Floyd Mayweather fight, that Floyd Mayweather, from a capitalist perspective, is still a hot ticket, figuratively speaking. People want to see him. Even they might want to see him lose, they still want to see him. And he can generate millions and he can make major deals. Again, the problem isn't making money. The problem is consumption and maybe the money that's generated to run his businesses. However, that's the last bit is an assumption. And then we have his luxury lifestyle raises legitimate questions about long-term spending habits. And again, this appears to be true if the information presented in the media is true. Is this a financial education issue? Is this an issue not just with boxers, because that would be unfair, but with sports people? You could even say with business people. Some people are great at creating businesses, great at creating revenue, but not great at maintaining or keeping their income. Is this a financial issue, or is this a personality issue, the personality of someone who just consumes? Or is it a brand issue? Because the Mayweather brand has a relationship with absolute consumption. So the next statement is that Floyd's earning power separates him from most retired athletes. I think categorically and objectively, this is just so true. Let's look at his exhibitions. For example, when he fought Logan Paul, all of this is allegedly, he made 10 million plus pay-per-view, which equaled a total to 65 million. That's allegedly. And that was an exhibition against an influencer. Against Conor McGregor, he made 100 million. But when you add the pay-per-view and other revenues, allegedly it came up to 250 million. And in the Aaron Chambers exhibition, and I believe that he's an influencer, apologies if I have that wrong, allegedly he made 20 million. So those figures, when you put them together, 65 million, 250 million, 20 million, this clearly shows that even when he's retired, he can make massive amounts of money. So there's no doubt that his earning power is not the issue. It seems that the consumption is the issue. And the next statement is financial education matters. Financial education matters, but it does not fully explain why athletes go broke. Indeed, and this probably needs to be studied, is it the personality issue? The personality of a champion is not good for financial management. Is it bad people in your circle? Is it a bad manager, a bad promoter? So-called friends, family that don't have your best interest at heart? You know, if you're a giving person, then you could be exploited. You might be vicious in the ring, but then a giving, compassionate philanthropist, and that can be exploited. You know, and I guess with this is like, with financial education, you need effective business communication, not just theory, because you can be given bad financial education, which can aid you going broke even quicker. So it's the type of financial education and how do you vet it? And then we have the whole element of risk-taking personalities often create both sporting success and financial problems. And this just seems so true. What makes you great also contributes to your downfall. Imagine that. What makes you great contributes to your downfall. And I guess there's a few things here. There's awareness, having the awareness of the financial journey, but also having the financial understanding, and specifically having the financial understanding of managing the risk and consulting the right professionals that have your best interest at heart. So this is my final statement. Think of this. I think the key takeaway point is how to manage financial risk, proper financial education on managing that risk, and having the right people around you that have education and your best interest at heart. Floyd has big earning potential. So if he is in trouble, he can resolve this issue. But it's not about repeating the same mistake. That's the important thing. Yes, he can get the money back, but he needs not to repeat the same mistake of overconsumption. Hopefully, this burden he can turn into a blessing. So that's the end of the video. Now I'm trying to build a digital boxing community. That means I'm interested in your comments, I'm interested in your questions, and I'm interested in your observations. Now, if you want to support the channel, simply like and subscribe and click the hype button. And if you want to watch more content like this, then simply click here or click here. As always, thanks for your time. It is much appreciated.